Hey, welcome back, Math Gurus. Today's video, we're going to focus on rational operations word problems. It comes directly from TEAC 7.3b. So rational numbers are just your fractions, decimals, and percent. So it says Mystic Falls Middle School's choir needs to drag $520 for an upcoming trip they will take. At their first fundraising project, they raised 25% of the money. During their second fundraiser, 3/8 of the money was raised. How much money does the choir still need to raise? So we first have to figure out, what does 25% represent from 520, and what does 3/8 represent from 520? Add those together, and then we're going to subtract from 520, because the question is asking how much money do they still need to raise. So we have to figure out, what did they raise already? Well, if you remember, percent is out of 100. So it's 25%. We'll set up a proportion. 100% is 520. And we want to know what 25% is. And so when we divide the left side by 4, we get 25. So that means we want to divide the right side by 4. We want to keep equivalent ratios. So I'll divide 420 by 5. 4 goes into 5 once. 1 times 4 is 4. My new division problem is 12 divided by 4, which is 3. And then 3 times 4 is 12. Bring down the 0. And then 0 divided by 4 is 0. So at this point, they've raised $130 on the first one. We still need to do the second one, and so it's 3/8. So let's use a visual model. This isn't the only way to do it, just helps you see it. Our total is 8 parts. And all 8 parts represent 520. So we want to figure out what each part represents. So we'll go 8. How many times does 8 go into 520? $65. So that means each piece is 65 all the way through. Because when you remember fractions, each part is equal. But I'm only interested in what 3 represents. So I'm going to shade in the 3. And then I'm going to go 65 times 3 so I can figure out how much they raised the second time. So for the second one, they raised 195. Now remember, this is what they raised. The question asking what we raised, the question is asking how much more do they need to raise. So we'll add and figure out what they got so far, which is 195 plus 130. So you have $325. How far is that from 520? That was the original amount that they had to raise. So the answer is 195. All right, let's do one more for the video. Millie bought a sweater for $24 before tax. She had a coupon for 1/5 off. Sales tax rate was 8%. How much did Millie pay for the sweater? Okay, so first thing I would say, let's do a picture just so you could see it. And you know what a fraction bar is. 1/5. That means 5 total parts. But we're only interested in what does one part represent. Okay, all 5 of them is $24. So what we'll do is we will divide. I added a decimal 0 because I couldn't keep going. Something you were taught, I don't know, 4th or 5th grade. So 480 is what she gets to take off with her coupon. So we'll line up our decimals. All right, sorry I didn't do a lot of explaining because you've been adding and subtracting decimals for a while. Basically, it's $24, and then what's left is $19.20. And in 6th grade, you learned how to go from fraction to decimals to percent and forward. So for tax, I would rather convert to a decimal. It's not the only way to do it. You divide by 100, and you show it by moving 2 to the left, which is 0.08. Go ahead and multiply. Now remember, how many ever decimal places you have is how many the answer should have. So let me show you what I mean. We have 1 decimal place here, 2 here, so it's a total of 3. So the tax that we have to pay, or Millie has to pay, is $1.18. I rounded it because the 6 was 5 or greater. So we'll add the tax to the discounted amount, and this would be her total amount she has to pay. I hope this helped. Thanks for watching.